Welcome back to Thinking It Through. Today I wanted to discuss the 4 possible outcomes of the presidential election and what to expect on election night and in the days and weeks after. Before we begin, hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Be sure to share this video when you can, it's the best thing you can do for the channel. So there are 4 possible outcomes to the election in each state. Trump wins big, Trump wins with a small lead, Biden wins big, or Biden wins with a small lead. The races to focus on are those in the battleground states. I'm going to define a big win as 5 percentage points or higher. A marginal victory would be a win with less than 5 points. Right now, according to Real Clear Politics, there are 5 battleground states. According to 538, there are 16. I don't think anyone will know the true number until well after the votes are counted. If Trump wins big, the Democrats are going to be faced with a quandary. Accept the vote and move on, which, as we've seen in the last 4 years, is unlikely, or follow a course of challenges, muddying the water, delegitimizing the victory, and just plain making life tough for the president. So no matter if Trump wins big, or a marginal victory, the Democrats' first course of action will be to launch court challenges in multiple states. They will challenge the count, the mail-in system, which they demanded, and the deadlines for receipt of ballots. If they catch wind of any fraud, even in Democrat states, they will challenge the integrity of the process. With a large victory and clearer wins, there will be fewer states where legal challenges can be mounted with any chance of success. With a marginal victory, there will be many more states where legal action can be filed. If you remember the Bush versus Gore election of 2000, the Supreme Court only had to rule on one state, Florida. Using this strategy, the Democrats will force the courts to rule on multiple states. In the event of a marginal win, they could launch not just state challenges, but challenges in specific counties, cities, and towns. The number of cases to be settled could easily reach into the hundreds, and the results could drag on for months. No doubt they will find sympathetic, lower court, left-leaning judges to agree with them, so expect court-ordered counting and recounting. The same applies to deadlines. Before any mail-in voting really started, North Carolina already extended the receipt of date for ballots to 9 days after the November 3rd election. Wisconsin, 6 days. Pennsylvania, 3 days. And in Michigan, the extension for receipt of ballots is 2 full weeks after the election. And the Democrats will have massive confusion and delay, which is exactly what they're hoping for. Biden and his camp will not concede the election. The press will not only go along, but bring experts on who will tie themselves into knots of logic explaining why Biden should not give up. My prediction at this point is that during all this confusion, the dirty tricks bag is coming out. Ballots are going to start appearing out of nowhere. They will suddenly be found on loading docks, in mailrooms, post offices, large apartment complexes, in ditches, and under bridges. Each time a new batch is found, the Democrats will be in front of a judge demanding the day for receipt of ballots be extended even further into November, and perhaps even December. We'll be treated to night after night of Democrats going on TV and complaining about outside influences and Russian interference. They'll make accusations about cheating against the Republicans. They won't have any proof, and the press won't ask for any. Their followers won't care as long as they feel that there was cheating done. That's good enough for them. And then will come the real constitutional crisis. Democrats will demand a contingent election. That is a clause in the Constitution where if the Electoral College can't put forth a result, the president will be selected in the House and the vice president in the Senate. When Trump fights this challenge, they will say he could avoid it by conceding the election, and the press will paint him as the bad guy. How this will play out is anyone's guess. If that fails, another crisis comes on January 20th when constitutionally, the terms of both Trump and Pence come to an end at noon. If there is still no clear winner by this time, the Speaker of the House becomes president until the vote is determined. So what happens after that? Well, we already know no matter what the outcome, Democrats are going to refuse to acknowledge Trump as the winner. But for a big win, the results will be mostly civil. Public pressure for a resolution will mount for this whole thing to finish. Courts will hand down favorable rulings to Trump, and the press will have no choice but to declare him as the victor. I expect in the case of a big win, Democrats will be angry, especially at first, and they will do all they can to make life miserable for everyone at least until 2024. So really not much of a change from their current behavior. But in the aftermath, if there is only a marginal win for Trump, the court challenges will go on longer with a smaller percentage win than a large one. The Democrats will try overwhelming the courts with the sheer number of challenges they bring. They will attempt more Hail Mary cases, which they would have never won with a larger victory margin. In their desperation, they will try anything and everything to get lucky. While they're doing this, they will get every activist with a D brand on their backside to get out in the street and start causing chaos and damage. Of course, they'll blame the unrest on Trump and will again say it would stop if he only conceded. The press will love this time. No clear winner means national crisis. National crisis means higher ratings. Add all this up and they can help their friends at the DNC, and you have a win-win for the mainstream media. They will keep this going as long as they can and not declare a winner until they absolutely can't avoid it. One scenario that would really throw America in chaos would be if Biden refused to concede the election and sets up what he would call a legitimate and dual presidential administration. If this goes on too long, what will happen next is anyone's guess. Hypothetically, at a minimum, massive civil unrest. Left-wingers will take to the street, the right will counter-protest, and the two will meet. Each will blame the other for any misconduct. The head of the Joint Chiefs has already said the military will not get involved. The National Guard may or may not respond, and the police would be so overwhelmed that they would likely shelter in place. This is not a shot at the police, but when overwhelmed, like during Hurricane Katrina, they may have little choice but to find a defensible position and wait. The amount of possible bloodshed in a contested election cannot be overstated. If it gets too bad, either a choice will be made by the Supreme Court or the nation will plunge into civil war. Even a Supreme Court decision might not stop the left if it's a decision they don't like. At that point, they would be in for a penny and in for a pound with nothing to lose. Keep in mind the Supreme Court's decision would allow the president control of the military and full federal authority. How long a conflict would continue is a complicated discussion for another time. In the next video, I will discuss a Biden win and what to expect in that event. In the meantime, what did I get right, what did I get wrong, and what did I miss? Leave your comments below. Before you go, hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Share this video on social media where you can. It's the best thing you can do for the channel. Until next time.